I'm Jor-El, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic book show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Action Comics number 989. Now that Jor-El has revealed himself as Mr. Oz to his son Superman, what will that mean for the world as a whole? Well, let's hop on in together and find out. Alrighty then, so as we join the comic, we get to check on in with Lois and John at the Daily Planet. A crazy wingnut with a bomb and a gun ends up coming in screaming about fake news. No, not because he read some horrible conspiracy theories online or anything. He's actually a follower of Mr. Oz. You can tell because he has a tattoo, as do a lot of people in this story. Lois, showing what a true hero she is in her own right, tries to calm the dude down, saying that as long as he lets everyone go, she'll write his story for him. Poor Lombardi ends up getting shot though. Worse still, little Superboy sees all of this go down, and even though he totally has the power to stop it, he can't do it without revealing who he is to everyone. This planet attack is just the newest in a long line of masterminded atrocities put together by Jor-El to try and make his son lose faith in humanity. You see, Superman is willing to concede that maybe perhaps Mr. Oz is his father, but that there's no way in hell he could ever leave Earth behind, not when he's always been this great symbol of hope. In fact, he kind of leaves the Jor-El problem on the back burner, as he must go to a war zone to stop a bunch of chemical weapons from being introduced and killing millions. But with Superman so busy overseas, who could possibly save Lois? Well, we think it's Superboy who's going to get the job done at first, only no, Jor-El is actually playing multiple sides of this. Having failed to turn his son Superman, Jor-El is now trying to ingratiate himself to Lois, only she's a lot smarter than this. She's never met Jor-El before, but even she knows that this guy is acting in complete contradiction to everything she's ever heard Clark say about him. Having struck out twice now with the two people he was trying to turn to his side, Jor-El decides to go for another tactic, and that is, hey, maybe meet his grandson for the first time. As you might have guessed, John's in a bit of a vulnerable place right now. He feels bad that he wasn't able to use his powers the way he wanted to try and save his mother and the people at the planet, and Jor-El, smart guy that he is, plays on these fears. He once again goes on to his big spiel about the evils of humanity, and wouldn't it be so much better if John and his family could go somewhere where they wouldn't be afraid to use their powers out in public? Well, wouldn't you know it, Grandpa is working on just that thing, a whole new planet for Superman and his family, a world of new Krypton, if you will. And it's right around here on this stinger that the comic ends. So that was Action Comics, everybody, and overall this whole Oz Effect storyline continues to be fascinating with a lot of different angles and a lot of stuff to chew on. I like that Jor-El doesn't want to fight Superman one-on-one. Instead, he's going to try and wear him down by making as many horrible catastrophes all over the world. Perhaps trying to answer the question once and for all, what are Superman's limits and can they be exploited? Speaking of exploiting too, once again, Jonathan finds himself being manipulated by a third party against his father. Only where Manchester Black over in the Superman comic was forceful and used violence and intimidation, Jor-El comes at John like a friend, heck, like a family member, no less. He plays on his own inadequacies, and hey, you know what, now that I stop and think about it, John doesn't exactly have a relationship with his human grandfather, General Sam Lane, so you know, it's easy for Jor-El just to slip right on into that role. This issue is definitely the middle child of this arc, but overall I still enjoyed it, which is why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So that's Action Comics, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, why not check out some of these other videos I've been working on. And if you want to see what videos I got coming out next, be sure to follow me on social media at Jor-El, and if you head on down into the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and podcasts before anyone else. And never forget, you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. You'd really be helping me out. So until next time, everyone, this has been Jor-El. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again later. Bye-bye.